like our extra help folks and our permanent employees also have to do. The length of the internship would be determined by the department, the need of the student, kind of in relationship of the two. It just depends. And there will have to be defined learning objectives. Those come from the student. The department has to agree that they can assist them with those in that process. At any time, an intern can be terminated. We can end the agreement with that intern. So if it's not working out, if they're not making the grade, we can absolutely let them go. And we will also verify with the university that, in fact, their desire to be here is to fulfill a grading requirement. We are, as I said before, we already have a database developed for marketing of this internship. And what I'd like to say is we did start this in January to try and roll it out with the beginning of the spring semester for most colleges and the junior college and that sort of thing. Currently we have internships posted for a library science intern. For human resources, we're looking for an intern because we want to tell them how great it is to work in human resources. We're trying to bring in students from Mendocino College and from possibly the high school this summer, just to even provide basic clerical skills. I'd like to comment in some of the other counties, and this is a goal of human resources. In some of the other counties, the human resources department are working with the junior colleges to create a government academy. You gain a certificate in government procedure and process and to assist students in what it's like to work in a government setting. So that is a goal of ours to get on board with that. We do have an intern today that went through this process through the district attorney's office. So this is these are up on our website. They're job flyers just like any other job flyer. So as we receive them, we repost them and we recruit for them. So just want to let you all know it's up and running, and we so far have one. We would like more, and all the departments did chime in and participate in this process. Thank you. Is there any questions?
Thank you. I do believe there's some questions. Supervisor Pinches?
Linda, first of all, it says this program will not require any additional funding. I don't really understand that. I'm assuming you're paying these
No.
They're not being paid?
What they get is a grade.
Okay.
Some can't, like I said,
yeah,
there are some that are paid.
But to create stability in the system, there's very few departments out there right now today that have all their funded positions filled, right? We have a lot of vacancies, right? A lot of funded unfilled positions, right?
If they're funded and unfilled, or do you mean unfunded and unfilled?
No, I mean funded and unfilled. In other words, there's a vacancy.
There's some vacancies. Yeah. I can't tell you how many and which departments.
Well, my concern here is, shouldn't the effort be into trying to get people permanent positions in those positions where
Absolutely.
we need them?
That is one of the hopes of, yes.
I'm afraid that this is kind of a distraction from that because, you know, I understand the intern program is great, but we need some long-term stability in our system here. And I know some departments, you know, they're not getting the work done because they don't have people to fill it, and it's not because of the money, because they're funded positions, they just don't have the bodies. So if you're promoting to get these interns in there that's going to be just there temporary, then that kind of puts aside getting somebody permanent in there that's going to be here hopefully for 20 years.
That is possible. Yeah. There are in our research and looking at other internship programs, for example, Sonoma County has a very profitable one, very successful one. One of the ideas of an internship program that is formalized like this is to bring students into the county of Mendocino. Yes, some of them will come, they'll do their time, they'll leave, and they'll be able to claim it as credit for their degree. Absolutely. Others, it allows them an opportunity to come to gain the experience they couldn't otherwise get. There are some classifications in which you have to have hours served in order to get that licensure or certificate. We want to open up those doors for those folks to come in and gain those hours here. And those positions could possibly be paid for. If they get those hours in order to get that certificate, then they will be able to qualify for the position that we have vacant. One of the problems in these unique classifications is we're not able to find the qualified students because we don't have a way in which they can get the hours they need or the time they need to qualify for the minimum qualifications of the position. That's another example of how this could work. Also, in targeting high school and our junior colleges is to hope to introduce them to Mendocino County, to working for the County of Mendocino, to get them in the door to see what it's like to work here, even as an intern, in hopes that they will stay here and they will apply for positions within Mendocino County. A lot of our younger population leaves this county. We want to provide them with a means in which they can stay in school here, get their intern credits with us, and possibly get a job with us.
If you say there's no cost, but if these people, if they're out, like if they get hurt on a job, they get in a car wreck or something when they're traveling around the county with a county employee, how's the county covered that?
There are some universities and colleges in which the workers' compensation component is covered by the university or college.
But how will we handle that?
We would treat some of them as volunteers, others they would be covered by the university. Volunteers in this county are covered under work comp. So they would be treated as the same as a volunteer if they're not paid. If they are paid, they are an employee and they would be covered under work comp in that regards. So it would be both.
Mr. Kaler.
I don't usually comment on things like this, but I wanted to back up Linda. You know, I started my career as an intern at Chico State University at the city of Reading. And if it wasn't for that internship that went on, was a 1-year internship, became a 2.5-year internship, and then I became an employee of the city of Reading for my first job out of college. Internships, if properly managed, are going to give you a time to preview your students that are coming out of the university or that are the best and the brightest, and then give you a chance, hopefully, to figure out how to retain those people. So I think an internship is an excellent idea, and I've supported Linda in her efforts through this entire time because of my personal experience. It's what brought me into public service.
Thank you, Mr. Kaler.
Yeah, if you weren't here, you might have been president of Microsoft.
Well, no, I use an Apple at home, Johnny, so Microsoft is, we only use that here at the office.
Supervisor Delaware.
Well, thank you. To a degree, Mr. Kaler just kind of stole my thunder, is that I, too, was an intern while I was at Chico State. And
that darn Chico State.
I traveled.
God, I know I'm voting no now.
I traveled from Chico to Sacramento every week at my own expense to take advantage of the intern program. I received my credits for it, but it was a wonderful experience, and it gave me the opportunity to, one, learn about my major field and a specific aspect of it, but two, it gave me the course credits as well. So I commend you on the program. I think what you put together, Ms. Clauser, is a wonderful program. The only part that I'm a little concerned about, and it ties into Supervisor Pinch's, is the budgetary side of it. Your slide of salary paid or unpaid, I am not as comfortable leaving that up to the departments. I'd rather see it as an unpaid deal. These are folks that are receiving class credits. It's coursework. There's a reason for it. And you get truly the dedicated individuals that are really interested. They're truly dedicated to it. They want to get something out of it. I tend to go to maybe it's my bias of having to foot the bill to go from Chico to Sacramento every week, but for a semester. But it truly, to me, brings out those that have their education in mind. And I'd rather see it as unpaid. Now, maybe there's a couple, like you mentioned, the nursing, that may be an anomaly to that, and I'm willing to obviously to look at that. But I just assume see it as a not paid position, so that we can focus on the bigger aspect of it, and that's their education.
And if